Namaskar, good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you for today's session of Your Market Navigator MFD Ask series. This year in our Voyage event 2021, one of our guest speakers was Dr. Jim Walker, one of the most well known, renowned global economists. And there was a very interesting question asked to him, where the moderator, Nikunj Dalmia of ET, asked him that, Jim, if there is one macro trade for the next 5 to 10 years where you would want to put your money, what would that be? And without blinking an eyelid, his answer was that that trade would be technology in emerging markets, particularly India and China. Now, what makes Jim Walker and all of us so excited about this theme to discuss and take this further? I am joined today Mr. Rajesh Bansal and Kunal Sangoi.
So, Kunal, in this light of this discussion, you would like to draw upon your attention and would like to know what are the key trends in the IT as a sector post COVID-19.
Sure. Thank you, Rajesh, and good evening to everybody. I'll quickly start with the key trend. So from COVID-19 has, accelerated the, some of the ongoing trends. Like in the past, we've always had some or the other events which act as big trigger, and exactly COVID-19 pandemic, it is actually forced the technology adoption. So point number one is that the technology adoption across businesses is just going up, and across that's one. Second is that with regards to the impact. So there has been a lot of impact of the pandemic on each and every sector and each and every business across verticals. Though the magnitude of that impact. So for some of the businesses on the healthcare, life sciences, they have, or e-commerce, they have actually gained big time. There has been other sectors where travel, hospitality, they have got impacted in a big way again, because businesses itself, they've just taken a immediate stop. So from a technology adoption perspective, what has happened is that it has changed the way we have been working. So we've been the work from home concept itself started through the pandemic. That's one. It has changed the way we buy things in this way that we shop for online, the way we buy our groceries and all the other be it apparel, footwear, etc., everything, right? The way we shop, the way kids are getting education, right? Everything is turned online, schools are closed. The way we are consuming content, by content what I mean is that be it news. So actually getting a newspaper instead of that, basically every morning on WhatsApp we check our news, or we have a daily hunt or a in short various right. So that is the way. In terms of say movies, it's more or less OTT platforms have taken a big increase in terms of the viewership. In terms of web series that we've been watching, right? So everything is moved online. So in terms of other activities like say even gaming, so gaming has gained a big ground. So among the trends, I think the technology adoption, one is across the board has gone up. There has been a surge in terms of the overall activity on an online basis. So what has that led to? It has led to the whole rise of the app economy, app and platform economy. So I think, that is the second biggest trend, that, the whole app and platform economy is rising. The third is that from a consumption perspective, consumer always used to be ahead of the curve in terms of the technology. So if you look at, when iPhone was launched, and through various every year when new versions of iPhone or iPad, the technology, the user interface, the friendliness, the main operating system, they were very stable, and in fact much ahead of what enterprises were using. So there was always one is that consumer technology was ahead, enterprise technology used to lag. Now with this COVID, what is happening is that there is a squeeze that is happening, that because there is so much surge on the online by the consumer, businesses have to adopt. It's actually doubling. If you look at last 5 years, the kind of spend on technology by various verticals, for the next 5 years, that spend is going to double. So the growth rate. So I think, Rajeshji, I think businesses have to cater to the online surge of the consumer is where the key bottom line is.
Nifty IT index has sharply leaped to 15,750 odd levels as of yesterday from a low of 10,300 from a year back. If you see, it's more than 50% kind of a jump in a 1 year. In fact, our fund has delivered more than 106% return in last 1 year. And if you just analyze this IT sector as a whole, it has delivered more than 25% annual return in last 10 years. So a lot of investors are skeptical, like this kind of the rally, which was not ever imagined. Will it sustain? Or even if we go to your fund, which is 2 decades old, I think it was launched in 2000, and from last 2 decades, it has delivered a return of more than 11.5% since inception. So the people are skeptical, will this kind of the return sustain in future? If yes, in long term or in short term only? So what is your view?
So I'll just tell you, what are the core drivers of the sector, and from that itself will give you a good perspective as to the opportunity. So Indian IT, while we are talking about return, so obviously there, all the IT services, the market cap is like $350 billion. They do, or if you take say top 15 companies, they do revenues of almost 5 lakh crores, but they make profit of almost 90,000 crores. Okay, annually. That is one data point. Second is that this overall sector, so be it Indian IT companies plus the captive centers of all the global multinationals. Okay, so all that in $60 billion total every year they do that kind of revenue. But the globally, if we look at the actual, that is in excess of $1.5 trillion. That includes software services as well as engineering services. So we are looking at a globally, versus the global, we are, close to just 10% kind of a market share. When we look at the overall outsourced spend, so out of that $1.5 trillion of annual IT spend, only $300 billion or $325 billion is the kind which is outsourced. So it's the third party IT services players. And of that, basically 50% share is ours, Indian ITs, right? So one is that share can increase, and further overall that pie of $300 to $325 billion, that itself increasing. So that is one. Second is that the whole $1.5 trillion was growing at 2.4% roughly in the last 5 years, 2015 to 2020. In the next 5 years, so there are, Gartner, various research agencies, they provide that for the next 5 years, that growth rate is going to be 5%. So one is that overall pie is increasing that pie. So you can, Indian IT companies at various points in time, be it 2008, be it 2020, they have proven that they can execute in times of difficulty without any hiccups. Seamlessly. So, whenever, in last March, when, companies were rushing, lockdowns were, across the countries, lockdowns were announced. That time, IT companies struggled, but they ensured that each and every project delivery happened on time and it didn't disrupt the client's businesses. So that, if anything, brought more confidence to the global companies. Second is that after 2020, what also happens, global clients who were averse to outsourcing, कि भाई हम धंधा कभी भी इंडिया नहीं भेजेंगे या any other country outsource नहीं करेंगे. So if I am an enterprise sitting in France, my own employees were my head office in Paris, and my own employees were spread out across the country because they were based from various cities. Because of lockdown, they went back to their home cities, and in time, clients are realizing that if the project or the work is getting delivered from say other city within France, might as well, if that happens from Bangalore or Pune, you are going to save like almost 1/6. As in the cost that you are going to incur is that 1/6 of the cost. So the differential in terms of on-site as well versus the offshore is still like 1/6. for every 100 rupee that you pay to an on-site person, in India still the wage differential is like 5 times to 6 times. So almost like a 16 rupees only you will pay in India if it is outsourced. So that is fundamentally the key proposition of the Indian IT. And the fourth point I would say is that the skills of an Indian engineer are getting upgraded. So, companies like TCS, Infosys, they have superb training engine. So they have upgraded their employee skills on all the digital services to ensure that, what client is wanting, their employees are ready to deliver. So all that is giving a lot of comfort.
Kunal, can you please elaborate the process of stock selection? And we would be happy if you throw some light on the investment philosophy of the fund also.
Sure. So, see, Rajesh ji, here in terms of the stock selection, I think three key factors that in terms of our stock selection is concerned. That one is the core business. Second is with regards to the management quality, and the third is the valuations. We go with a value framework in mind that we don't want to buy expensive that way. But having said that, if the business is strong, has a great momentum, and there is a super management team who is backing or who's running the business, I think then the third factor of valuation, we are okay to pay a slightly higher valuation also. But the first instance is that we will go for a value one. So, business management valuation, that would be the first, the framework that way. In terms of selecting, I think we have our internal, we run various screeners on the overall listed companies within, within all the sectors that we mentioned. Within that, basically, so there is a constant monitoring. We keep on meeting the management of various companies. And from there, potentially, we also get leads in terms of, within the industry, how is the competition, who is, which of the companies are doing well, what is the sector or the business segment, which vertical is doing well. That gives us, some indication with regards to, okay, let us look at, retail as a vertical is doing very well, because a lot of retail players are investing in omni-channel. So, who were just offline stores, they want to have an online presence across the apps, across the face. So there is a lot of demand, right? So that way, some companies who work specifically on the retail side, I think, that gives us in. Second is with regards to, we keep on, talking in within the whole, network of sales people within the industry, on ground check. We look at a lot of global companies. What are the global trends? Some of the companies, do replicate the business models of global players as well. So, combining all this helps us in terms of, selecting on the stock. And then, when we meet the management, we talk to competition, we do our own channel checks in terms of the, various employees within the company or some of the clients.
In our opinion, 10 to 15% exposure to thematic or sectoral location in the portfolio in such market scenario can create delta. What are your viewpoint?
No, so I do agree that at least, some portion of the thematic, because thematic allocation is important. But with a higher return expectation, slightly risk is also slightly higher. But if we get the call right in terms of, actually the sector doing well and we enter at a point in time, I think it can create good amount of additional returns for your investors as well. So one should always look at a thematic fund, have at least a kind of a 20% kind of a exposure. That is what we would also be recommending.
राजेश जी, जब आप कुणाल से सवाल पूछ रहे थे, तो आपने एक सवाल खुद ही पूछा था कि जनरली सेक्टर फंड्स या थीमेटिक फंड्स जो होते हैं, उसमें एडवाइजर्स या इन्वेस्टर्स थोड़ा सा हिचकिचाते हैं इन्वेस्ट करने के पहले. लेकिन हैविंग नोन यू, मैंने देखा है कि आप एक ऐसे एडवाइजर हैं जो अपने क्लाइंट पोर्टफोलियोज में काफी एक्टिव कॉल लेते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग ऐसे थीम्स जो आगे चल के अच्छा करेंगे एंड बीइंग ओवरवेट दैट. So what would be your message to fellow advisors as well as our investors who joined us on this call today? What gives you that kind of conviction जिससे आप कई बार इस तरह के सेक्टर और थीमेटिक कॉल्स देते हैं अपने क्लाइंट्स के लिए?
प्रशांत जी, मैं बड़ा सिंपल आइडिया रखता हूँ कि जो चीज प्रैक्टिकली मासेस में जा सकती है, जो आंखों के सामने दिखती है, वो अपने आप फ्लोरिश करेगी. व्हाट यू कैन सी ऑन द फ्लोर, ऑन द ग्राउंड, you can always find the business of that thing flourishing, and over a period of time will give a good result.
Kunal, I'm seeing a lot of questions coming around the fact that ये जो digital disruption हमने पिछले 15 महीने में देखा है, a lot of this digital disruption that we've seen, in spaces like, say, financial technology or med tech, ed tech, are there enough listed players? How do you actually play this disruption and benefit from this as an investor?
Sure. So, as I told, so right now, whatever within the listed space, so till now, the way to play was probably owning say, a company like a InfoEdge, which had investment in Zomato, right? So that was indirectly you were playing. Plus they have Naukri.com, Jeevansathi.com, 99acres.com. So that was one. Second, last 2 years, we've seen more companies which have already come for IPO. So one was, say, IndiaMart, which is a B2B online marketplace. Second was Affle India, which is again a advertisement ed tech platform. So that is what we have already played with this. Third is also, Just Dial with a JD Mart coming through. So, but there, having said that, there are lesser opportunities in the listed space as of now. But I think over the next 2 years, we'll see a lot of IPOs coming through. So Zomato is coming right now. Paytm will come. Then Policy Bazaar is going to come for an IPO. And Nykaa, which is a women fashion, I think that is also going to come sometime by this year, next year. So I think that the whole India-led platform businesses, app business, I think those are going to come in the next 2 years, and we'll see that investment once they are listed.
Dinesh Reddy is asking, already tech stocks are very, very highly valued. How long can this continue?
So till the time the growth continues to last higher. So, for the next 2 years, FY22 is going to be very good for, most of the companies, and potentially from a growth perspective, revenue growth perspective, they might surprise also. So you will see revenue surprises. I think, what I am just concerned is a little bit on the margin side, that how they maintain margin. But these companies, I've seen them through, last 15 years. I think their ability to maintain the margins very high. So 1 or 2 quarter shock, but they might come back strongly. So till the time FY22 growth surprises, and FY23 also outlook is fairly positive. So at least for till that time, I don't see issues that valuation actually dropping through. See, digital, I always have been highlighting that it is not a cyclical thing. IT and technology is something which is a lot more structural, and technology is more and more a way of life, right? It is impacting each and every business and individual as well. So that is likely to continue. So I would rate that a lot more structural that way.
Thanks. I'm highly thankful to all team members who have given this opportunity to interact with you and to share my views, as well as to get the more information insight about the product, and very honest and unbiased view on the various sector. And I also have a strong belief what the Kunal has said. One should look at the thematic allocation right now, rather than to have an old belief of diversified, and still the lot of steam is yet to come for the digital.
In general, I just, I have been asked by many of my, complex friends and otherwise that, what is the time to invest in equity, when and all. So I just tell them, one is that, the quote from Peter Lynch, which is that, more money has been lost by waiting for a correction than actually. So I think, better, start earlier, tell your clients the same thing. And I think, equity does, in phases like this, it gives disproportionate return. It makes up for the past loss of return as well. So I think one should be invested during such times.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kunal. And thank you to all our channel partners and investors for sparing your time in joining us on this platform today. We hope to see you on this platform next Wednesday, same time. Till such time, stay safe, take good care, and have a great evening ahead. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.